Hello, 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 and welcome to Dawn Osborne Fearless Women podcast, where I want to help you with your growth mindset. I want to help you live a happy and prosperous, adventurous, and limitless life. Today, I'm talking about something that I absolutely love it. I love it. This particular thing has absolutely changed my mind. And it's the power of something that's a little bit misunderstood, but once you grasp the concept, it will really bring such positive change in your life, and I want to share that with you today. And at the end of this, I want to give you 3 tips on what you need to action, what you need to do to apply this very secret thing into your life. But first, I just want to tell you a story. Okay, so a friend of mine were driving home from the Gold Coast. We'd been at a 3-day business seminar. And obviously, you know what it's like when you've been at a seminar, you're full of new, fresh, enterprise, you're full of new ideas, your mind's blown with all this information that you're processing. There's a sense of excitement. And obviously, there's like a kind of like an awakening or an awareness of what's going on in your own world, but, especially in the area of entrepreneurship, because you kind of sat for 3 days and absorbed this information, and it triggers you. When you hear stories of what people are doing and the things that they're applying to their businesses, all that kind of stuff, it really does activate that entrepreneur in you to do more, to grow more, and to have, to action more things. So here I am driving home from the Gold Coast, and firing away about all these things that, all this new stuff that I'm thinking about, applying to my own business, to my own world. And something just came to my attention, and it was really thought provoking, and it really got me thinking. And I was able to it actually activated a question that I asked myself, which, let me tell you, sent me on a bit of a spiral of really what I would call a cleanup of my own world. And I kind of want to share it with you. That's why I'm excited about it, because once I asked myself this question, and then I went on to this, it opened up this tin of worms, if you like. I actually went on this massive cleanup in my own world, and it created great change. And that's why I want to share it with you. So here I am, I'm driving along, I'm talking to my friend, I'm in the car, I'm excited. All of a sudden, this car in front of me merges directly in front of us. And I'm looking at this car right in front of me, and there is a huge, kind of like a magnet or it was a sticker. And it said, luxury, and the words luxury were, bold and, really, you could really see it. Luxury airport transfer. And then I looked at the car. Now, please forgive me before I offend anyone. This is not about the car. It's about the message. Okay. So, if you are, this car owner, please forgive me. I love these cars, but I'm using it to illustrate a message. Okay. So here I am. The message on the car says luxury, airport transfer. However, it was on the back of a Hyundai. Now, if you are a Hyundai owner, this is not about the Hyundai, it's about the message. Because as I'm looking at this, sticker, and we're following up the highway, something is starting to go, there's something a little bit off about that message. So, on one hand, it's saying, it's a luxury airport transfer. And then on the other end, it's on the back of a Hyundai. And I'm like, hang on a minute. If I was to visualize the word luxury, I have to be super honest, and I would not be visualizing a Hyundai. I would be visualizing a Mercedes, a BMW, a Jaguar, a Lamborghini, something of that type of car would come to my mind. It wouldn't be a Hyundai. And then I just sat pondering on this, and I was like, what's going on here? This is not aligning. And so what came to my attention was that there was an incongruency between the message and the car that it was on. They just didn't match up. They just did not align. They weren't congruent. They, if that sticker was on the back of a BMW or a Jag, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that is totally congruent with its message and its vehicle. It all adds up, it all aligns, and it works. So what it did, though, it actually, I pondered on it. I kind of meditated it on, as we followed this car. It really got me thinking about where in my own world, definitely in my entrepreneurial world, where am I not congruent? And oh my gosh, didn't that open a tin of worms for me? Because then I started having some epiphanies about where I wasn't congruent, and it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice, because it was like, oh my gosh, this is my message here. This is my message, but the vehicle in which it's attached to doesn't align with the message. So I discovered in my own world all the areas where I wasn't congruent. I have another example of this too. So I remember, many moons ago, I used to own beauty spas, and I'm very proactive with marketing and the images that I use. I like to use, clean, fresh images. And I remember I was at this networking meeting, and I had done a huge advertising campaign with this particular magazine at this networking event. And he comes up and he says, "Oh, are you Dawn Osborne? Are you from this beauty spa?" I said, "Yes, that's me." He says, "Your marketing is amazing." And he was complimenting me, and I was like feeling really good about myself. I was like, oh yeah, and I just the bomb. And then he turned to me and he said something that I will never forget, and it has stuck with me. He said, "I hope your service is as good as what your marketing tells us it is." And in that moment, I went, he's onto something there, because my marketing was so good. Okay, it was, fresh, new, fantastic, and it was going to draw a lot of attention, and it was going to be bringing clients in. But how terrible would it be if I got all these new clients, and then once they had tried my actual service, that they were desperately disappointed? And that was oh my gosh, is it congruent? Is my marketing message congruent with my service that I'm actually providing? Am I over exaggerating the service through my marketing, and then the actual delivery of it, I have disappointed people? You've heard that saying where they say, where you overpromise and underdeliver. And that's not good for your business. And quite frankly, this guy that I was talking to could be he was stating that. He was asking me, are you congruent? Because this promotion, this marketing is telling me that you're promising a lot, you've got my attention. But what happens if they come, if my clients and my customers come in and I underdeliver? And in business, it should be under promise and over deliver. So it really did start to get me personally going into the incongruencies that I had within my business, within my marketing, within my messaging, everything. And what I wanted to share with you today, I want to share with you 3 things. Now, I've used business as an example, but you can actually use these 3 tips to bring congruency and alignment into any area of your life. Okay, it could be love, it could be your health and fitness, and it can be your business. So the 3 things are, to be congruent, you need to do these 3 things. Number 1, your thought. Okay, your thoughts, your mindset, and number 2, your words, and number 3, your actions all have to align. So, let's go to your thoughts. So your thoughts must always be looking towards the positive. It always should be growing. And then your words you speak should always be matching that. So I'm always talking positive, I'm always kind, my words are always good, and my actions should be congruent with what I think and not the opposite. But what happens is sometimes when your thoughts are full of fear, you will focus on what you don't want instead of what you do want. And you will speak the words of what you don't want instead of what you do want. And you will action things that may be sabotaging, and you got exactly what you didn't want. So those three things need to be completely congruent. Is what I think the same as what's coming out of my mouth? And is what's coming out of my thoughts and my mouth the same as my actual actions? And in order to get growth in your world, to get, positivity, to get happiness in your world, all three things have to be absolutely congruent. And it's that same old, that saying that says you think, act, and you get. And to back that up, your thoughts, words, and actions, to get what you really want, not what you don't want, get what you really want, all of those have to be in alignment with what you want. Okay, and so that's the three things that I had to do when I had a big cleanup in my business. I had a good look. I found all the things that were incongruent, and I started to think about, okay, that's not congruent. I need to think about what I want in that particular area. I started to speak it out. Okay, this is what I want. This is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to change. And then I started to take actions that got me what I want. And as a result, I found great success in areas of my life. I've also applied the same principles in my personal life as well, which has also worked. So I just want to leave you with that today. I hope you liked it, loved it. If you did, share it. Share this post, recommend someone else come and have a listen to it. Otherwise, I will catch you next time on Fearless Women. Bye.